Eruk, spelt E-R-U-K, from the Epic of Gilgamesh, was a city that just happens to be where modern-day Iraq is. Eruk, Iraq? Interesting. Anyways, this is my driver, and I haven't read it, but I know about what the Clintons did in 2004. Apparently they unearthed Gilgamesh's giant body. Yeah, part of the Nephilim. Anyways, here we go.
Based on multi-star general's eyewitness reports to me, who was there, he said, they have Gilgamesh's remains. So if they have Gilgamesh and he is Nimrod, they got it. The whole point is to extract the DNA.
Have you ever denied access, or did you ever inquire on the topic of UAP or Gilgamesh in your official or personal capacity, and why?
I was never denied access because I never asked for access.
Okay. In the efforts of having a transparent government and restoring faith within our country, do you believe that the American people deserve access to those topics?
I do. Subject to any national security implications, I think the information should be made available. I think that's been ordered.
We know that in the Podesta emails that were leaked, there was an email in there that was associated with Hillary Clinton in which she was conveying an interest in the body of Gilgamesh. So I think that's anecdotal, but I think that the occult, members of the occult, and I think that Hillary is a member of the occult.
Beneath the Euphrates River, 4 angels have been bound in chains for thousands of years. They are not evil, but so powerful they could shake the entire world. Revelation chapter 9 unveils this shocking prophecy. These 4 angels are not fallen beings. They were chosen and appointed by God himself, prepared for one specific year, month, day, and hour. They were bound not because of failure, but because their power was too great. If they were released at the wrong time, the world would not survive. So they have been kept under the river, waiting for the appointed moment. When that moment comes, the 4 angels will be loosed from their chains, and that will mark the beginning of judgment on earth. They will not come alone, but will lead a terrifying army. 200 million supernatural horsemen. Picture this, 200 million riders thundering across the horizon, bringing unstoppable destruction. This is one of the most dramatic images recorded in the entire Bible. The Euphrates River was once the cradle of ancient civilization, but in the spiritual realm, it is also a prison, holding the very forces that will decide humanity's fate. These 4 angels are the opening of the end-time chapter, and their release will signal that history has reached its final page. And if they were set free today, war, plague, and disaster would sweep across the earth with unimaginable speed. No one would escape. So here's the question. If this happens suddenly, are you ready to face the end of the world?
Americans, they went there, okay? And then when they were there, they found the body, and they was trying to say that it was Gilgamesh. And they say the reason why they went there, see, was to extract the DNA, because you know where they do genetic modification DNA. They say it was to extract the DNA so then they could rebuild, and then the old entity could be reborn. Like, I don't know what you think about that, because
it wouldn't surprise me.
Somebody told me about the Bible, and in the Bible it says that 4 angels was thrown into the Euphrates River. They were sent down there, and you know, it turns out the one they're saying is Gilgamesh. That's what Hillary Clinton, there were some notes that was found. She said it was Gilgamesh that was found there. So like, I just thought, what do you think about that? Because like at the moment where everything's coming to an end, they've got to give us like somebody, like everyone, people says about Antichrist and stuff. I'm not really religious, but everything people say about the Antichrist, I believe they will give us somebody, but I believe it'll be like not something of this world. So like all these people, everybody names, I don't believe it's any of them. You know, and I just believe it could be possible that this Gilgamesh, if they did really dig him out of the Euphrates River, because he was in immaculate condition, mind, you know, is it possible they could take his DNA and then reclone him into something else? Because we already know.
Well, it's possible. I mean, I think a lot of these things are rabbit holes to keep people speculating and not focused on what's important. What's important is freeing us from this slavery system. Just don't believe anything they tell you. I mean, a lot of these things that you see, it's like the flat earth, round earth debate. People are so concerned with this. The earth is a prison. Doesn't matter what shape it is. If you want to find out what shape the earth is, establish the freedom to go and find out. You know, but by arguing over the shape, you're just creating division, which is the very thing which is preventing that freedom from ever being created.
So it keeps everybody in a loop.
Yeah, they keep you in the loop, and it's the same with stories of Gilgamesh and whatever. I mean, possibly it's possible, but it doesn't affect me personally. It doesn't affect us personally. You know, what if they were to clone this being or whatever?
The only way I thought it might affect us is like, you know, they want to bring this one world religion in. You know,
well, the one world
so
religion
I just thought, you know, what better than to bring somebody that don't really look of this world, because that would be a perfect brainwash to the masses.
Well, it would be a perfect brainwash. What they want to do is establish, merge all the religions together. I mean, you look at the LGBTQ stuff; it's just become virtually a religion. Politics has become virtually a religion. You know, all this stuff. The internet is virtually a religion, a cult. You know, as much as I love the internet, I think we were far better off without it. You know, when I look at my childhood and some of the stuff that I did and the places that I went and the thoughts that I was having, now all of this stuff is contrived. It's all online. You know, and people believe what they see online. You know, Google will tell you the truth. No, it won't.
No.
You know, Google censors the truth. You know,
it might tell you the truth on page 100. But you ain't gonna find it in the first pages.
Yeah, Google will tell you what they want you to know. So it's not the truth.
The sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the four horns of the golden altar that is before God. It said to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, "Release the four angels who were bound at the great river Euphrates." And the four angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. The number of the mounted troops was twice 10,000 times 10,000. The sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the four horns of the golden altar that is before God. It said to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, "Release the four angels who were bound at the great river Euphrates." And the four angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind.
What does it mean to be crazy? What does it mean to be insane? Most of these people don't get my ways, but I bet they would if they felt my pain, if they felt my rage. I ain't never gonna change. I'ma always be that freak, I'ma always be the same. They don't want me to be so dark, but it's hard when they always throwing shade. You could beat me to death, I probably laugh it off. They never laughed at my jokes, so I cast them off.
Who built the Tower of Babel. His tomb was found in Iraq in 2003. And his giant skeleton has been found and retrieved. Archaeologists in Iraq believe they found the lost tomb of King Gilgamesh, the subject of the oldest book in history, the Epic of Gilgamesh, written by Middle Eastern scholars 2,500 years before Christ, commemorating the life of the ruler of the city of Uruk, from which Iraq gets its name. Gilgamesh, also known as Nimrod. Why is it so interesting that his tomb has been found? It's interesting considering that Gilgamesh was believed to be part human, part alien, part angel. He was Nephilim, Anunnaki, Nephilim, fallen angels, the offspring of the fallen angels, as in Genesis 6, notably what we could call a hybrid. It's also interesting to note that Gilgamesh has been compared to and could very well be King Nimrod, who was the son of Cush and a descendant of Noah and the king of Babylon, the same Nimrod that built the Tower of Babel, translated as the gateway to heaven, to defy God. And we mentioned this regarding the overwhelming amount of information that has come to light recently of DNA genetic manipulation and its use in science and technology even today. And Steve Quayle said, I talked to Special Operations General who validated that, verified that, and absolutely was there when Gilgamesh's remains, and his words were, he was in a state of remarkable preservation. And by the way, that was in the literal vicinity of where the United States built its largest military complex. I believe it's one of the largest military complexes in the world. In that whole area, the advanced team Special Operations went in there to grab all that stuff. What I'm telling you is based on multi-star general's eyewitness reports to me, who was there, he said, they have Gilgamesh's remains. So if they have Gilgamesh and he is Nimrod, they got it. The whole point is to extract the DNA. And I've also been told that the whole point of the Human Genome Project is to locate specific genetic markers for the disembodied spirits to reanimate their host body that's brought back. So this is in fact Babylon Rising, the return of the Nephilim.
And I saw a star fall from the heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
Give me some protons.
In the coming periods, we will increase the energy of the beam to the world record of 6.8 tera electron volts, and then put the beams in collision. And this will happen in July, when the real physics will start again.
Give me some protons.
Whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue has name Apollyon.
The LHC Run 3 is starting up now.
Accelerating proton physics.
We have now 3 years of technical stuff.
And everyone
Babylon the Great is fallen,
Detector has had many changes. The performances of this new shiny detector and also all of the physics performances.
The priority for Alice in Run 3 is the study of the collision of heavy nuclei, the lead nuclei.
LHC experiments plan to collect more data during LHC Run 3 than they did in the first 2 runs.
Most physicists expect that there should be some new particles beyond the standard model.
Don't let me fall for it. They want to poison me. They want to deceive me. Please send your angels, Father.
Was the Iraq invasion a forward smokescreen for the enablement of Western powers to gain ancient alien technologies and possible DNA for future engineering and a possible resurrection and cloning of a DNA angel, Gilgamesh Nimrod? There are those who believe that that is so. There are those who believe that there was a driving force behind the resurrection of Nimrod, Gilgamesh.
A wise man once said, bees don't waste their time explaining to flies that honey is better than shit.
In that whole area, the advanced team special operations went in there to grab all that stuff. What I'm telling you is based on multi-star general's eyewitness reports to me, who was there. He said they have Gilgamesh's remains. So if they have Gilgamesh and he is Nimrod, they got it. The whole point is to extract the DNA. And I've also been told that the whole point of the Human Genome Project is to locate specific genetic markers for the disembodied spirits to reanimate their host body that's brought back. So this is in fact Babylon Rising, the return of the Nephilim.
Charles Morgan at West Point in 2018, where they talked about human drones. They talked about the fact that they could control other people's motor functions. They could literally get into people and drive them around. They called it the possession experiment. And this wasn't conspiracy theory. This wasn't anybody saying some possibility of what they might be able to do. This was a professor, a doctor, giving a lecture to the heads of military at West Point, saying this is what we can do. It's not open for speculation. It's not something they're trying to do. It's something they can do. And that was back in 2018.
Due to the Freedom of Information Act, some of those emails have now been released. And believe it or not, there's a reference in those emails to Gilgamesh and the resurrection of Gilgamesh and the tomb of the Nephilim. Now, you might think, oh, come on, that sounds ridiculous. But you can actually go to the official U.S. Department of State website. Yeah, that's right. And you can look this up for yourself. And it's right there. What? Yeah. Go and check it out. You will see what I'm talking about. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. So anyway, it's a little hard to find. You got to go look through a lot of documents, and you may get a little lost. You may find some other interesting things while you're looking in here, too. So if you're in a mood for treasure hunting, be my guest. But I was specifically looking for this particular information. And again, it's a little tricky to find. So I ended up finding out what the actual document number was. And so that's what I put in here. And then that's what ultimately led me to this. So here is what it actually says. And apparently this is maybe a woman, I guess, that was working for her or something, or I don't know, or it's just a reference from this Denitra Senegar. And interesting that it says closed, the others say open. But in any case, what she says here is that she is, well, I'll read you exactly what it says. It says, requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber. Okay, the resurrection chamber. Okay, that in itself is mysterious and intriguing. The resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. Now, I'm not sure all to make of that statement, but if you think about this guy, okay, and he's in this chamber. Now, I don't know what resurrection chamber means, but I have to say, when I look at this guy, he looks like he's alive. He looks like he could wake up and just be like, hey, what's up?
Nimrod shot from the temple, stone ancient got them back, they claim them throne. Rings in a sky, time start rewind. Saturn spin, but the code stay sign. Numbers align when the rights them high. The veil get tear, truth can't hide. Before the flood, when Babel still stand, Nimrod rule with Agris run pan land. Tower reach high, touch the gate, defining heavens, try twist fate. Osiris mash up, but time no sleep. Him name still echo where Saturn keep. Black cube spin where the shadow link. Temple of power, outside time's brink. From Sumer to Egypt, wisdom pass. Kabbalah scrolls to the mason grass. Capstone shine with the olden signs. Numbers coded in the skies of the line. Still locked but the seal them slow fi bust. Osiris rise when the black breeze goes. Nimrod shot from the temple, stone ancient got them back. Fi claim them throne. Ring them a dance time a move back. Saturn spin round but the code intact. Numbers align when the ritual rise. Veil get peel, expose the lies. 6 point star, them sigil spark. 9 farmer power, hide in a dark. Temple them align with Orion belt and them build it where the gods once dwelt. Baphomet they keep the balance tight. Saturn pick me, them pay them price. Time get flip, hourglass broke, ritual chant. And the god them up. Pyramid blaze with luminous flame. Priest them gather, chant them name. Osiris I watch the world unfold. Nimrod return, prophecy told. The coop still locked but the seal them slow fi bust. Osiris rise when the black breeze goes. Nimrod chat from the temple, stone ancient got them back. Fi claim them throne. Ring them in sky time roll reverse. Saturn still hold the ancient verse. Number align when the right them blaze. Bill get lift show Babylon ways. 369 the vortex show. Tesla did whisper, now you know. Sacred code in a stone, them hide vibration, open up portal wide. Templar guard where ancient swear. Phoenix reborn through fire and air. Sigil in blood, cube still spin. Saturn temple where the rites begin. Equinox rites mark sacred time. Stars align, that a design. Them think them hush, the gods long breath, but real God no dead, them transcended. Kabbalist chant secrets, them know. Hiding gold script, knowledge grow. Vatican old chambers tight. Vault locked down with truth and light. Ritual echo from Rome to Mecca. Black cube stand like ancient checker. Saturn return cycle reset. Some bow down, but some can't take. Prophets talk, oh men get clear. God them return to the last frontier. One world game, the chess move make, but checkmate. Come, place your bet.